picture in my mind. You wanna leave it all behind. In a world that's turning all the time, nothing could stop me longing for your eyes. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be This lake of fire burns my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be
Intensely sends it to the outside. He can't get there. Kevin King is going to win the Barbizzel FTF Cup Series.
Into the lead. Bud gets wrecked in front of the pack. He saves it. 3-4 wide as they come to the white flag.
Here comes Vargas down on the apron. They are 5 wide. Ian Plash will win it at the line. Is this package? Oh, there goes Jordy Lopez Jr. That's your race leader. Caution flag is out.
Still no one willing to give up as they are going to be dead even off of the first chicane.
Oh, he saves it. What's going to happen here? Here comes the canvas. Oh, the canvas sends him. Get your front gear.
He's got it. He's got it.
Canvas is going to win.
Welcome to FTF.GG's coverage of the eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series from Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, the third race of round 2 on the road to Contender. I'm Caleb Hoffman. Alongside me is Joshua Mendoza. And Josh, Lucas Oil, it's going to be the first of our kind here in round number 2. Going to be a crazy one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time we were here, we had a long green flag run after some early cautions. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out on. Just what kind of race are we expecting to see here today? Is it going to be a race full of bumpers out, banging, or is it going to be a clean race and it's going to be field strategy, what have you?
Yeah, going to be something to monitor here for sure. We've had our fair share of wild races last time here in the Road to Pro. We had Pocono, and it was a just insane race all around. Tons of cautions, and it was really a different change of pace from what we've seen for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's something to be expected. There's there's a lot on the line here, and people are very quick to get aggressive, especially on a race like this. It's 120 laps. It may seem like a lot, but it's going to go by so quick. You got to get everything you can while you can. Points are so crucial on such a short series like this.
Absolutely. And not really your conventional short track either. I mean, when you think short track, you think high banks and super quick, but got something a little different in store here tonight. Really flat racetrack, and going to see a lot of guys trying to use that high side as the quickest way to get around this racetrack.
Yeah, you're going to see them all over the track trying to make different things happen as they are getting qualified right now and sorting themselves out just for how they're going to start this race. But it's going to change just where you're at, what you're going to be managing, your tires, how you're going to make your fuel last. I was talking to a couple of drivers, and some of them are thinking that they might even be able to make it all the way to the end on one tank of gas. So that's going to be a strategy we see. Fuel mileage will probably play a big factor here if we see cautions and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, but I mean, be prepared to throw out all that out the window in case we do get some ill-timed cautions. Can throw all of that. We will take a quick look at points here coming into, again, race 3. You see right there, Daniel Buttafuoco with the points lead so far after 2 races, and he's had a strong surge after that win at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, and he's only 1 point ahead, but that's a really good position to be because it doesn't matter if you're winning. As long as you're above that cut line is going to be important, and not making any mistakes. He's only 25 points ahead, so that's something he's got to be careful of. If he has a bad race here, he could quickly end up on the back foot.
Absolutely, and all about consistency. We'll scroll through, and you see how tight this points battle is between all these guys through here. I mean, look at 21 through 30th, just separated by 8 points, and then 31st through 40th. 5 points, so a really tight gap between all these guys.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you look at that gap. That's not that big of a swing. It's your one good race, you're right back in it. One bad race, and you're right back out of it. Being first in points isn't necessarily as much of a cushion as you would hope it would be, but that's only after round 2. We have 7 rounds here, and this will be round number 3.
Absolutely, and you see some trucks starting to get on the grid here at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. With that, we'll take a look at the starting grid for tonight's race. You see row 1 is going to be Anthony Burrows, who starts on pole. Spencer Kostowitz joins him on the outside pole. Daniel Smallwood, row 2. And Jonathan Delaney starting from the 4th position. Andrew Navarro going to round out our top 5. Alongside him is going to be Austin Johnson. Brian Mercurio, we saw right in the thick of that points battle. He starts next to Boyd Hogan. Brian LaPrade and Logan Helton going to round out your 5th row, top 10.
Kwame Scott, Cody Harris, 2 drivers that I'm very familiar with. They're going to round out row number 6. Then you got Brendan Heimel and Timmy Paccioli. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing everything here. Caden Rush, John Jenkins, Alex Kalonix, Kyler Wynn, Hunter Johnson, and Jackson Crowder.
And then you'll look back at row number 11 with Matt Kipp, Michael Venable, Kenny Humpy, Jake Nichols, lots of familiar names there through the first 12 rows. James Holzer, Brandon Pipgrass alongside him on the outside of row 13. Noah Bitts, row 14 with Kevin Champagne joining him. And rounding out your top 30 here, Thomas Hazard and Brandon Hanna.
Jesse Kaplan, Chris Wetz, Ryan Hill, and Luke Nope will round out our field here at Lucas Oil.
And again, such a short track here. Just over half a mile. And you can already see how flat this racetrack is, Josh.
Yeah, this track, it feels very, very, very flat. Like, I'm just blown away. It feels so awkward in so many ways. It feels like a mix of New Hampshire, but just a little bit shorter. A mix of New Hampshire, maybe with Martinsville mixed in there. It's a unique racetrack, not one that a lot of people have experience with because we don't typically go here in many of the other cars. So this is something that is definitely going to throw a wrench in things.
Right down the street, about a half-hour drive away from the oldest speedway in the world, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but completely different challenge here tonight. Anthony Burrows on the pole, going to lead us off 120 laps here at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. We'll get to see who gets it done here tonight. Pace car is pulled off, and with that, we are green from Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park.
The great start there for Anthony Burrows. He got right up there as we got one car getting loose off of corner exit, trying to figure out who that was. Looked like that was Daniel Smallwood. Yeah.
Again, you see how easy it can be to overdrive these trucks here. You don't have that banking awry as a crutch. You really have to get that truck woe down, and that can lead to a lot of contact. As you already see, one truck going around in turn 1.
It's like Macario.
It is, and that will put us under our first caution of the day. And we'll get a look at what happened there, but I think it was exactly what we were talking about there, Josh. Just a little bit of contact maybe that sent the back end of that truck around.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking strategy-wise, if you're thinking back to how it happened last time, we had an early caution, then a lot of green flag racing. If you're towards the back of the pack, is a Hail Mary call to come down pit road here and try and top off to try and give yourself even more of a buffer to maybe hopefully make it on no stops from here on out?
Something to monitor for sure, but if we continue to see our cautions, again, like we saw at Pocono, then I can definitely throw a wrench in the fuel strategy when you have a pre-planned strategy coming into this race. Already going to be on lap 4 of 120 here from the Lucas Oil Raceway Park.
Doesn't look like anyone's going to come down pit road here, so throw that idea out the window.
And I mean, fair for sure. Track position is tough here, so definitely don't want to pit from too far up in the running order because it could be a long day for you.
Absolutely. Working under caution here is going to give them the ability to save more fuel here.
And we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but absolutely scorching track temperature here today. Air temp not so bad, sitting at 66 degrees Fahrenheit, but in the triple digits in terms of track temperature. Actually just dipped down to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. And could play a role here tonight in terms of tire wear, because you know the hotter this track is, the more slick the surface is going to be, and the less grip you're going to have. You're going to have to search for it a little more around this racetrack, which already is infamous for not having a ton.
Yeah, absolutely. I was speaking to Chris Overland, the crew chief for Jake Nichols. Jake Nichols actually made the comment that he was actually his tire changer, but he was saying that he's a little bit concerned more about fuel than tires this race. Not sure how true that might be. He might have been trying to throw us off scent there, but they seem to be confident that they weren't super worried about tires, mostly fuel.
And again, that fuel going to be so important to monitor today, but going to get a redo at this here on lap number 6 here at IRP. It's going to be Anthony Burrows. Spencer Kostowicz joins him on the front row once again, and let's hope this time we're a little cleaner. Pace car dips down onto the pit lane here. And coming to the restart zone, Burrows is on it. Green flag back in the air as they cross the stripe. Got to be careful looking through the field here, but a big launch from this number 62 machine.
Anthony Burrows out in front already by about a half a second. That's a great launch for him. He's going to continue to try and maintain that positioning. He's going to continue to grow that gap a little bit here.
You can see how aggressive they are on these restarts. Boyd Hogan attempted to make it 3 wide, couldn't quite stick, and has had him fall back, makes a little bit of contact with Logan Helton. Now Brian LaPrade gets to his outside. First real battle side by side here, and then a little further ahead, Austin Johnson has peeked down on Daniel Smallwood as well to try to break into the top 4.
Continuing to see them race side by side behind them. They're getting it single file though. And this is where it gets a little bit nerve-wracking and a little bit more difficult to make up positions.
As they continue to get spread out, you see the desperation here from Boyd Hogan. Wants to slot in front of Logan Helton and doesn't want to give him that position. Gonna be easier said than done though, because you see Helton's going to get that just slight run off the corner to be able to stay with Hogan. I think Hogan will have an opportunity here if he sends it to clear him mid-corner. He will try that. Delaney backs him up just a little bit, makes that a little more challenging, but we'll get it figured out, and Boyd Hogan now slots in front of Logan Helton for the 7th position.
On board here with Helton. Shout out to him. I'm not sure if it's been mentioned, but Firecracker 400 winner right there. Going out here and getting it done in the Road to Pro Series.
And a situation as high pressure as a Firecracker 400 definitely helps translate when it comes to the pressure of trying to move on to contender. And we are going to be under caution once again. It's a crash on the front straightaway. Chris Wetz, Thomas Hazard as well. You see there's that number 31 machine. Get a replay to see what happened, but I think it's just going to be a case of running out of room. There's Chris Wetz still stopped on the apron as well.
Yeah, curious to see what happened here. These guys were a little bit further back there. Oh.
And I don't know if that's just Hazard coming up or Ryan Hill keeping his nose right there. Might have been a slight internet-assisted contact, but either way, since the 31 around and Wet's involved in that as well, nowhere for him to go. Under our second caution of the day here at IRP. With that, we are going to go ahead, throw to a break. We will have more coverage of the eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series after these messages. Anthony Burrows, your leader after 14 laps here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series coverage here on FTF.GG. Caleb Hoffman with Josh Mendoza. And Josh, I heard you were hearing some chatter from one of our early spinners here.
Yeah, I was just looking at Brian Macario, thinking about how he's on the back foot here. Just had to avoid that wreck, that last caution. And that kind of tells you just how careful you have to be. Came in here 6th in points as we're going to go green flag racing here.
Going to be something to monitor for sure. Consistency is key. And you see Anthony Burrows with another amazing restart. Already almost jumped up to a quarter-second lead.
Oh, we got one in the outside wall. Towards the back of the pack, one around the 6 car. That looks like that's Noah Bits.
Caution out once again, third time today, and I think it was just a stack-up effect on that restart throughout the field. Noah Bits definitely went around, but it started a lot earlier. I think maybe the truck of Kyler Wynn maybe right in front of him as well with Caden Rush. We'll take a look, though. Going into turn number 1, and you see that 15 truck just gets turned, and then it's a stack-up effect from there. There's Bits going around. Just a tough break overall as we find ourselves under the third caution here already, not even 20 laps in.
Someone else that got a little bit of contact there was Jake Nichols. He was asking just how his car or truck was looking, and doesn't seem to be any major issues. He's kind of towards that cut line battle, so got to be careful.
And Caden Rush was really displeased over the radio after that contact from Brandon Meal behind, and again, just a tough breaker all around. There's both of those trucks now with damage, and Bits, Kaplan as well. That truck you were focusing on of Brian Mercurio just narrowly avoided it, and that's why you don't want to be in the back, because you know everybody up front is smooth sailing right now. It's these incidents more towards the rear of the field where everybody is scrambling right now, and there is Mercurio, lucky to have minimal damage on that truck and just has a lot of ground to make up. Luckily, he has 100 laps to make it all back up.
Yeah, he got a lot of time to make it up, but still, I mean, you think about how much racing we have had there, how quick he has had, or his pace has been, and he's only up about 4 or 5 spots since he got sent back there. So that's just, it's a very difficult hill to climb if you get to put it down. See them pacing here right now. One thing to note, Chris Wetz has a meatball flag, so he's currently sitting in his pit getting some level of repairs. See if he is going to be able to get that repaired before the end of the night.
And either way, a tough hole to dig out of already early on. No fast repairs here, so you don't get a reset to rely on. Just have to fix that damage. And if you remember back to that first caution, which saw him tag the inside wall pretty significantly. That's where he got his damage from, and still sits on the pit road right now. And just, again, a really tough break as he's already 10 laps down here on lap 22, sitting in the 34th position.
Yeah, right now, only one out of the race. We got Jesse Kaplan, who is on pit road as well, just trying to beat the pace car out. I don't think he's going to be able to, or maybe he will, just barely get out before the pace car and avoid going a lap down here.
Gonna just narrowly beat it. And pace car, you see the lights go out right there, meaning that we're 1 lap away from a restart. Hopefully we avoid another caution here early on and maybe can get a green flag stint in.
I think all these drivers would love a green flag stint right now. They want to go out there and be able to let their truck show their show what they've done in the last couple of days to build up the best setup that they can.
Gonna have to find out. We've seen a few incidents in turn number 1. We've seen also great restarts from Anthony Burrow. Does that continue? Here we go, green flag once again, and I think this might have been Anthony Burrow's best launch of the day as he leads us back to green, lap 24.
Look at that. No battle from behind right now. Burrows can race where he wants. Everyone else side by side behind him.
Gonna have to get that figured out shortly. Boyd Hogan thinks about 3 wide for a second, doesn't quite have it. Smallwood as well, all over the back bumper of Kostowitz as they come out of 4 once again and complete lap 24.
Still side by side behind him. That's making Burrows smile from ear to ear right now. Seeing those cars racing side by side, that gives him all the opportunity to build a gap. If this goes green here, this is going to be great for Burrows.
Absolutely. But don't be so quick. I mean, we are at that point where you see a lot of aggression throughout that field. Right now, everybody just trying to make up as many positions as they can as Kyler Wynn is going to get turned as they go into turn 1. Contact from Alex Kolonix sends around the number 82. Caden Rush we've seen involved already today involved once again. Puts us under the caution flag from IRP for the 4th time today here on lap 26, Josh.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That gave a couple of people some damage, but that was I don't really know where they were planning on going with that run, but actually that looks like there was a bit of a stack up in front of Wynn. He had to lift off just to keep it together, and unfortunately Alex had nowhere to go. That's unfortunate. And that's got an additional car into the wall. Trying to figure out who that was.
Was that Boyd Hogan?
That might have been. Yeah, it looks like that was.
Yeah, and that's pretty considerable contact there at that number 96 machine. So some of the monitor there, you saw he slapped the wall. Good news for that truck doesn't look like too much damage, but puts us under caution once again. And I think a good point you were making there, Mendoza, was that a lot of these guys up at the front have the opportunity to stay up at the front right now, and it's making it really difficult for some of these trucks further on in the back to improve their position just because you're ticking off all our laps here under caution.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be out in front, but if you get a good launch, you want to be able to capitalize on that launch. And if you're not able to do that because they're constantly wrecking, that's just you can only change up the restart so many times before you start repeating yourself. But if you can keep it inconsistent enough that the guy on your outside doesn't know what you're going to plan on doing, that's great. But that's just it. I mean, this is tough for Burrows just being in the lead. He has all these great launches, but really can't do anything with them. As long as it stays in this zone where it's quick cautions, though, it should keep him out in front.
As is per usual here in the eNASCAR qualifying iRacing series, we're joined by Justin Malillo, who we haven't really gotten a chance to speak to because of all these cautions. Justin, about strategy, how are these cautions affecting how these guys are looking at fuel?
Well, if they keep having these cautions, Caleb, I don't think we're going to see many of the front runners even think about pitting. They're currently running under caution on lap 30. It's like a tale of two races, by the way. I'm watching the other race over on FTN, and they've been clean and green for much more of their race. They're on lap 41 right now, still under green flag conditions, 42 now. So it really is a tale of two races. I feel like if we continue this trajectory, a lot of the leaders, they're going to be fine on fuel. They're not going to overheat their tires, and track position is key, especially on a very, it doesn't look narrow, but the racing groove is very narrow here at this particular Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, and I'll throw it back to you guys.
Thanks there, Justin, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you a little more tonight. Hopefully these cautions don't get too much in the way of that. We have him monitoring strategy as well as the other split, so make sure we won't miss a thing up here. Meanwhile, pace car coming back down once again and hoping to at least get a stint in here. Goes through 4 right there once again. An incredible start from Anthony Burrows as we take the green flag once again. Already starting to see a little bit of a stack up through the field. Got to be careful here.
They're side by side behind him, and they are trying to sort it out. Looking like a little bit more of a tidy restart this time, but we'll see how long they can keep it together.
And we've seen that's about 2 or 3 laps from, again, what we've seen so far here. And hopefully make it a little further than that. But right now, Burrows, Kostowitz hoping to break away from the field a little bit. Kostowitz maybe with a chance to chase down Anthony Burrows here today. And being that control car is going to be so important all night long.
Yeah, it's going to be something we're going to follow, is just who's in control of these restarts. If we're going to have a very yellow-heavy race, the person in control has an extreme advantage over the one on the outside.
Still looking at a lot of side-by-side racing Right now, we're looking at the battle between Daniel Smallwood, Austin Johnson. This is to break into the top 5 for Austin Johnson. He's going to be able to clear that number 32 truck of Smallwood. And now our focus will shift to Logan Helton, who has Briar LaPrade all over that outside.
Already one of our longer green flag runs here. So it's going to be interesting to see what trucks are quicker on these medium to long runs. If we can get a nice long run here, I'd be very curious to see who's able to get going forward and who's going to fall back.
Oh, a really close call there between Cody Harris and Timmy Pacioli. Oh, and Pacioli's going to go around. A little bit of contact. They were side by side, and now it is a pile up on the backstretch here at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. 5-10 trucks involved.
That was definitely one of the weirder wrecks I've seen. It just seemed like nobody knew that the caution was out, and they all just kind of shuffled in.
One of the wrecks of all time for sure there, but it all started with that truck right there. Timmy Pacioli, who was running, just broke into the top 10. And Pacioli comes over the radio and says he got loose. And you see it right there, just comes up, and look at how many trucks pile in there. And that's really a super tough break. Yeah, and I mean, look at how many trucks were involved in that. I mean, Brennan Meal, Alex Kolnick's got damage in that. Luke Knupp. I think Brian Mercurio had to slide through the grass to avoid that one. Watch this view of this. Just piles in. My goodness, one truck getting up off the ground there, and I think that was Kenny Humpy.
This is going to be a great shot of it. Oh my goodness.
And that was John Jenkins who got up off the ground. Not something you're typically accustomed to seeing here at IRP, but nonetheless, already been a crazy race in store for us. Justin, you said that you might have an update on the other split?
I do, Caleb. Looking here, they just had a caution, and pit road was pretty busy. So maybe pit stops, maybe for tires, it might be more plausible. We didn't see many takers in our split here, though. I'm seeing that the top 22 all stayed out there. The first one to exit the pit was Jake Nichols. He's down in 23rd. I gotta wonder if that possibly comes into play later on, because, I mean, if we do get a longer run here, are these guys like Burrows, Kostowicz, are they going to ever come down for service? They did in the other service, so we'll have to see how it all plays out. If they can get, a decent run in, that all is a part of it too, right? They got to get some green flag laps in to even consider it. So interesting to see it. I think they went like 40 laps green over in the other one, so it made a little bit of sense. But now over there they are under yellow fever. They're back to caution on lap 52. Back to you guys.
And again, something to watch out for with track position so important here tonight. Just about to complete lap number 40, and been a difficult one so far for a lot of these guys, but everybody up at the front I feel like is breathing just fine right now, Mendoza.
Yeah, I think they're breathing fine. They I mean, who knows who's going to have strategy here, who's been saving fuel. That's something that I think we're just going to keep our eye on. Is anyone going to try and make it all the way to the end without stopping? I know Brandon Pipgrass is the first one who's actually come down pit road. He's currently in 19th at all. So if that's something that comes into play, keep an eye out for those guys back there.
Gonna have to wait and see. Is it another good start by Anthony Burrows here? They come through turns 3 and 4. Navarro all over the rear end of that number 62. Green flag once again. Burrows clearing Kostowicz. Navarro had a fantastic restart as well as they head down into 1.
Alex Kolonix had a weird restart. I'm not sure what happened. Got his car locked up off of corner exit. Might have a significantly broken car right now, but No factor right now as they're side by side throughout the field.
Yeah, Kolonix was involved in that last caution. You see Andrew Navarro gonna move underneath Kostowitz. Kostowitz tags the wall. They keep it going for right now, but new second place position, Andrew Navarro.
Navarro looking to chase down Anthony Burrows. Best position to do that. Single file right now, second place, able to work all the way up.
Oh, trouble once again, turn number 1. Caution flag is out. It's Hunter Johnson as he spins in front of the pack. And, yeah, that's a weird caution there.
Saw something similar with the Joey Brown caution at Pocono in the Coke Series, but
yeah, look here, and Hunter Johnson, I don't know if he just drives it in too hard there, but spins right in front of the pack. Obviously, a truck stopped on the racetrack like that with the pack around. But no damage for that truck, and looks like he'll be okay. Again, with track position at a premium here tonight, not something that you want to see. Looks like we do have a few takers down on the pit lane right now. Hunter Johnson, Timmy Pacioli, few trucks with damage from prior incidents. Not sure if we're going to see any undamaged trucks come down at this point in time. Either way, we'll get the rest of that for you on the other side of a quick message. We will be right back from the Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Anthony Burrows still retains the lead after 46 laps of action here at IRP. .72 laps to go from the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Anthony Burrows still holds the lead here, and Andrew Navarro starts alongside him for the first time today as pace car pulls off, about to get this thing restarted. And we'll see if Navarro is going to have anything for Burrows. Kostowitz started alongside him, had a little contact with the wall during that last green flag stint. Green flag back in the air. Boyd Hogan with a fantastic start. He gets underneath Navarro, might have a charge here for the second position.
Oh, Navarro gets a good run on that outside. He's going to be able to defend off a corner exit here. And I think Navarro's going to be able to clear Hogan, and he does. Navarro back in second place.
Smallwood trying to pass underneath here. Kostowitz holding strong on the outside for the time being. We know that truck has tons of pace. And he is still holding strong, at least for the moment.
I don't feel like Burrows is pulling away as much from Navarro as he was to the previous restart. So maybe a little bit of spacing right now, but Burrows not able to get the same jump that he's gotten before.
Now you see Boyd Hogan again trying to regroup and take this fight back to Andrew Navarro. This does nothing, I think, but help Anthony Burrows, who might be able to stretch his fuel tank to the end.
Yeah, I was talking over the break, just thinking out game plan wise. I don't really see a reason to come down pit road if you're at the front of this pack, with track position being so important and how many caution flags we've had. You've had ample time to save fuel. I think right now, as it stands, you probably can make it without stopping here.
It'll be something to monitor for sure. And I think you're right. I think we should be good, at least from these leader standpoints, just as a benefit of all these cautions we've had so far. You see this group side by side down the backstretch. Kostowitz with Smallwood, they have been just locked in battle so far for the 4th position.
Yeah, that battle is keeping up a line of trucks behind him. Johnson looks like Austin Johnson's looking like he's getting a little bit tired of this side-by-side battle. I wouldn't be shocked if Johnson tries to make it 3 wide, or at least push one of these trucks out ahead of the others. We're on board with Johnson.
And you can see how much ground that this group has lost on 3rd place Boyd Hogan. Kostowitz able to get around him now. Smallwood, I think, arcing that corner, might be able to bring the fight back to him. No, Kostowitz finally clears Smallwood for the 4th position. Does Austin Johnson now have anything on Daniel Smallwood to break into the top 5?
Don't count out that car behind, Briar LaPrade, former Coke Series driver.
Briar LaPrade, we know, knows how to get it done, and he is just so hungry to get back into the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. And we've talked with him this week and discussed that. Oh, we have a little bit of contact again. Brandon Pipgrass turned by Noah Bitts, and that has resulted in, that's the 34 truck going around. Jesse Kaplan, who has already been involved in a few. We are under caution once again, and we'll get the replay to see what happened there. All started with this group of Pipgrass, Bitts. And I can't tell what initiates that contact. I don't know if that's Bitts coming up or Kaplan turning down.
See if we can get another angle here to figure out what happened. Oh, wow.
And Kaplan not happy with the truck of Bitts over the radio there. It said that Bitts, quote-unquote, tried to clear himself, and either way, sends both of those trucks around and puts us under caution once again.
Pit stops.
For the first time today, and this is some of that lead group. Briar LaPrade looks like he'll be the first one off. Daniel Smallwood came down. Boyd Hogan. Delaney, Mercurio. Lots of our front runners here. And Justin, we knew some updates on the other split as well as some strategy here. I didn't know if the leaders were going to pit. Looks like we have our answer.
Well, it's a little bit of a split strategy and then a split within the split, right? So Briar LaPrade, 2 tires, and he now leads the drivers that have come down for service here. There are still about, I want to say about 10 drivers maybe? Yeah, 10 drivers who stayed out, including our leader, Anthony Burrows. Andrew Navarro also stayed out there. Our first driver that is going to be on tires in this pit cycle, Briar LaPrade, 2 tires, 18th place currently. Matt Kemp pitted last at lap 38. He's up to 11th. So we've got some staggered strategies here. I gotta think that in the guys that stayed out in this caution, they're probably not coming back in for the rest of this race. And everybody who pitted here, they got to hope for some long green flag run to be able to get back through the field. But passing just looks impossible tonight. Back to you guys.
Justin, a quick question before you go. Do you think tires are going to be a big differentiator here? Do you think that's going to be something that is going to make a difference?
Josh, we haven't seen enough green flag racing to know, right? Like, they just keep going under caution. Now I think we're putting a little bit more of a box where some of the faster guys are behind some of the slower guys, and there's going to be impatience. Now we're technically in the second half of this race here on caution number 7. So it's going to be, I don't know. I want to see how this plays out, but I don't think we're going to have enough green flag runs to be able to see how it does. But make no doubt about it. I think Burrows is not going to pit tonight.
I would not be surprised. I'm actually looking at his lap times right now. Burrow's fastest lap was set on lap 51, so tire wear not super extreme. Appreciate Justin, and we're about to go green flag racing again.
And Anthony Burrows, just as a result of getting the pole, has been set up in fantastic position, and shows you why qualifying matters so much, especially being the control car as well. He's had this thing figured out, and it looks like same deal here. Anthony Burrows leads the field to the green flag, and now Kostowitz might have a chance to take back that second position. No, looks like Navarro will clear him.
Gotta wonder, with all these restarts, laps are ticking away. Are we just going to see more wrecks on these restarts? The temperature is starting to get turned up. We're already halfway through the race.
And right now, on board, that is the Logan Helton machine as he's moved into the top 5, trying to get underneath Kostowitz. A little bit of contact there to the back bumper of that 98 truck. Starting to see impatience, and I mean, we've seen impatience, but not really up inside this top 5 yet.
Oh, we almost had a near wreck back here. LaPrade got into the 6 car, and that was a near wreck that somehow didn't happen.
You see, they're still 3 wide. They're going to have to figure this out. Kevin Champagne, lucky to clear himself right there to the inside of Hogan. They're 4 wide as one truck's in the wall. Ryan Hill, as they head down the backstretch, still 3 wide. Daniel Smallwood trying to run the apron. Rarely unconventional here for IRP.
Oh, we got one loose behind. He's going to get it under control. That's Timmy Pacholi, and they are going to get it going. But oh my goodness gracious, everyone is just trying to get everything right now.
And Pacioli we see with that damage from an earlier wreck. Brian Mercurio right behind him, an early spinner. And super aggressive right now is once again, look at almost 3 wide on the front stretch. LaPrade was thinking about it underneath the truck. That's Brandon Hanna. Thinks better of it. Might see it once again here on the backstretch. If Boyd Hogan can get to that outside, slaps the wall. Super close calls all around here.
Gotta be careful not to rush the throttle there. It's easy to lose it off corner exit. LaPrade got it under control, but some of these drivers are getting very, very antsy here.
And gotta think Smallwood's gonna be super aggressive because of him trying to capitalize on this tire advantage. One truck in the wall. Thomas Hazard pancakes it off of turn number 2, and got to be careful not to do that repeatedly because could wind you up with some damage right there.
Right now we see on screen a couple of cars side by side, but it's mostly single file throughout the rest of the field. Smallwood able to make up a lot of speed right now, already up to 13th, looking at 12th. Matt Kemp is the car that he's battling right now. Oh, side by side off corner exit. It's going to get real tight here. They're going to make it work, though.
And really seeing the most aggression, I think, out of everybody, looking for grip, and guys like Boyd Hogan especially, who are just searching all around this racetrack on these fresh tires, struggling to find alternative lanes here, because, I mean, this is a very narrow groove racetrack.
Yeah, it is. And one thing to keep in mind, these trucks are just going to keep getting faster and faster. Track temperature is already down to 91 degrees. That's down 9 degrees since we started this race. And oh, got one in the wall. It looks like Matt Kemp is just barely nicked the outside wall with Briar LaPrade working on the inside. You can see side by side right now. It's a battle of LaPrade versus Smallwood on the fresher tires.
And both of them have to get going if they want to capitalize on it. This felt like the longest green flag run of the day. Don't exactly have the numbers to confirm that, but definitely feels like it, at least in comparison, as this has really given Smallwood and LaPrade an opportunity to climb up through the field, as you see Smallwood down to the inside of Hunter Johnson, one of our spinners from earlier.
Yeah, they made contact in 3 and 4 last time by. It was very slight contact, no harm, no foul, but don't count him out. Oh, and you see LaPrade throw his name into the hat.
Trying to get to the inside of Hunter Johnson, maybe trying to capitalize on Daniel Smallwood's move here. Smallwood having a lot of trouble, though, trying to break back up inside this top 10. If you remember back, he pitted from the 5th position. A good note from Justin, until he gets back to that top 5, and this is a net loss so far for these pitters.
Hunter Johnson got on the outside wall off of turn 2 exit, just got a little bit tight. Got into the wall. That gave Smallwood and LaPrade the opportunity to pass him. LaPrade still not quite able to clear, as they are now able to clear. LaPrade and Smallwood, those are the 2 trucks we're keeping our eyes on right now as they are coming up.
Smallwood continuing to get aggressive, gets contact with Caden Rush. That's going to open the door for Briar LaPrade to the inside to try to take what would be the lead, really, of these trucks on fresher tires. LaPrade down to the inside. Smallwood trying to hold his own. Do either of these trucks try to use Caden Rush as a pick? Do they even get back to the back of the 6th truck?
We'll see right here. Smallwood, LaPrade, they're trying different lines. Each one of them trying to make something happen to get around the rush machine. Not able to yet.
Smallwood with a good turn 2 exit right there. Launches him down to the inside, but really, really slow entrance to the entry of 3, trying to maybe capitalize those runs off exit here.
Side by side right now for this 11th place, but it feels like it's a race for the lead. I don't know. It's just inside of me, something tells me that this is the strategy you want to be on. But as they go side by side for this 11th place, all they're doing is wearing those fresh tires off.
The last thing that these 2 want is a caution. Got to keep that in mind as they are so aggressive trying to get around this truck of Caden Rush right now. And got to be careful not to heat your tires up too much trying to get around.
Chris Wetz is back out on track after a very long pit stop, almost 30 minutes.
Yeah, Wetz got to think he's just coming out for pride at this point. As you see this battle, they are both able to get around Caden Rush now, and Daniel Smallwood will now look ahead at Luke Knupp trying to get around here. And Luke Knupp started at the tail end of this field. He's had a fantastic rebound to work his way up into this top 10.
That's a great job, lineup, but now having a bit of a battle definitely behind him. Got to be careful of that.
And as we continue to watch this crawl up through the field, Smallwood really sent it on entry that time. Right on the back bumper of the Knupp machine. Again, Mendoza, if you're a driver of one of these trucks, you know, you see Smallwood gets down to the inside. How do you avoid heating up these tires when you're attempting to make a pass lap after lap like we've seen from Smallwood and LaPrade?
I really don't know if it's possible to avoid heating those tires up. I mean, you can manage how much you're rushing back to the throttle off corner exit to try and not overheat those rear tires and try to not overcook corner entry in order to avoid heating up that right front tire, but it's difficult to do all of that while managing to try and get your way through the field.
And you see LaPrade all over the back bumper now as Smallwood tries to get around the inside of Luke Knupp, but Luke Knupp still holds strong on that outside lane.
Yeah, Nup able to hold the outside lane firm right now, forcing those two to be offline in the awkward spot. I think Smallwood should be able to clear, maybe not. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, Smallwood able to clear easily here. LaPrade is now the one trying to battle Nup, and it gets loose off corner exit.
I don't know if that was maybe contact from the Canup machine, but just enough to get LaPrade broken up from Daniel Smallwood, who now doesn't have to worry about that number 19 truck all over the rear bumper and can just focus on chasing down James Holzer for the 8th position.
LaPrade trying a crossover move on Canup. We'll see if it works. It looks like it might be able to. Oh, maybe not. It was looking very promising on entry. Yes, it is. LaPrade is going to get around Canup.
Fantastic pass there from LaPrade, makes it super decisive. A little further up the pecking order. Oh, as we have caution out once again, that's Boyd Hogan goes around in turn number 3. Puts us under what will be the 8th caution of the day, and I think it was a little bit of contact on the backstretch.
I'm going to blame that caution solely on our pit reporter, Justin Malillo, who said, wow, these races seem to have flipped. Oh, wow, Anthony Burrows just dove down to pit road. I don't know what just happened. That was the weirdest pit road entry I think I have ever seen. As we see a replay here of the wreck.
And just that contact between Hogan and Kemp on the backstretch. Kemp eventually does a full 360 there. As you see, he kind of rides along that backstretch wall for a little bit. And does a few more spins. And there is the Anthony Burrows incident that Mendoza was talking about. As you see, he last second decides to cut across the grass into the pit entrance and comes down the pit lane.
So that was because the pace car, they were waiting for the pace car to catch up, and as soon as the pace car passed them, pit road entry opened. But unfortunately for Navarro wasn't thinking that pit road entry would open there, and Burrows was able to come down and actually take advantage. And now Navarro is one of 3 cars who have not come down pit road at all. That includes Jackson Crowder and James Holzer, but Burrows now on fresh tires and yeah, that's just wild to me.
Before we get this restart, a quick word from our pit reporter, Justin Malillo.
Yeah, so Navarro stayed out, Crowder stayed out, Holzer stayed out. They have been they're on the oldest tires right now. Then you got LaPrade on 2, Bitts on 4, Delaney on 4, as well as Mercurio and Harris from Thomas Hazard actually pit on lap 39. Burrows has been dominant all race. Now he's got to deal with traffic. He's going to be restarting in 13th. He and like we were able to see, like Smallwood was able to get some positions more easily than others, but now Smallwood is pit and Smallwood's all the way back in 20th. So I'm just so confused by all the pit strategy that just came down all across the board. I feel like if anybody's going to be in a good spot, it's probably going to be LaPrade. LaPrade, Bitts, Delaney, that kind of group right there. Although Navarro's got the clean air, and now the cars in between him and Burrows are all on a cycle, and these heat cycles just kill the tires. So it's going to be, I don't even know what we're going to expect here, but I'll throw it back to you guys. We're about to go green.
And quickly just want to touch Alex Kolonix and Jesse Kaplan both got hit with black flags for that last cycle on the pit road. But for the first time today, new control car here on the restart won't be Anthony Burrows, but Andrew Navarro, and he's going to go super early, catches the rest of the field absolutely off guard. Green flag back out once again, and already with a huge lead is Andrew Navarro. And they're wrecking back, just a little bit of contact. And you caution out once again. That was all the way on the front stretch, and I think that was just a result of that unexpected start. Got the rest of the field stacked up.
What were we talking about? Heat cycles?
And actually, this is a completely unrelated incident. I think Pipgrass is trying to get caught up. spins those tires, spins around on the front straightaway, and puts us under caution once again. And interesting caution there from our iRacing race control.
Well, I was looking at the flagman, and it just, I felt like there was body language in the flagman when he pulled out that yellow flag. He was like, not again, and just threw it out again as it was right in front of them.
Interesting for sure there, but just an absolutely, I don't even know how to describe it. What a restart from Navarro there. It was almost as soon as that pace car pulled off. We have markings on the track for the restart zone, but an interesting turn of events there. Either way, 26 laps to go here at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Andrew Navarro for the first time today, your leader. We will see you on the other side of these messages here on FTF.GG. Welcome back to the Lucas Oil Raceway Park. About to get this thing back going once again. Andrew Navarro caught everybody off guard last time. Might see the opposite this time. Green flag back in the air. Navarro with a great restart, just not quite as early as we saw earlier. Here comes Brian LaPrade on those newer tires. We've watched him climb up through the field, and he is now on the battle for second.
I'm following Anthony Burrows right now to see where he's able to take his truck. Not able to make up any positions since that earlier caution. That's one other car truck we're gonna be watching throughout here.
And got to watch his climb, imagining he's going to be very aggressive here with only 22 laps to go, and laps are just ticking off. Doesn't want to see a caution at this point. Was thinking about 3 wide there for a second, but you see that 62 truck just has to be absolutely frustrated after leading so much of this race going on board. So he might make a little bit of contact to Jake Nichols there, and Boyd Hogan going to go around once again. No, he saves it somehow.
Oh, the 27's loose outside. I think Hogan and I believe that's Harris. They might be frustrated with one another. But that's going to give the opportunity for Burrows to make up 2 positions pretty easily there.
And that resulted in a big checkup, got the rest of this field together. Here comes Burrows down to the inside of Jake Nichols, and Burrows has worked his way up into the top 10 now.
We got one around the 98.
Oh, and caution out once again. As you said, the number 98, Spencer Kostowitz, started this race outside pole, and A little bit of contact there from Knupp maybe sends that number 98 around. We'll take a look. And again, that entire group was stacked together after that contact. And just no room for error at that point. It ends up in Kostowitz going around.
Yeah, that all started a couple of laps ago with that Hogan deal off of corner exit of 4. Just kind of stacked everyone up, as you alluded to, and they couldn't really get it going again after that, and they were all side by side, and all it took was just a small little bump in the rear bumper, lost it.
Kostowitz now, you see him entering the pit lane, running 28th after being up inside the top 5 for most of today, which is just a really unfortunate end to what was otherwise a strong run from this number 98 machine. We'll look back up front, and Andrew Navarro, does he have it to hold off Briar LaPrade?
Going to be an interesting combo there on that front row.
For sure, and sounds like we have another update from Justin Malillo in terms of our other split here tonight.
8 laps to go now, 7 laps to go in the other split. That's over on FTN. Right now, Chris Pfeffer leads. They're showing the battle between Eddie Kerner and I believe Johnny Avila. Unless Avila's in iRacing, that's Logan Helton. I don't know. They're both 63s, which makes this confusing. Anyway, they've been clean and green for a while. They're definitely going to finish up before we do, because what do we got? 16 laps to go. We're pacing under, and they've got now 6 laps to go. And yeah, I thought these races had flipped, but now they flip back the other way. Back to you guys.
And for everybody watching at home, again, you can thank Justin Malillo for his comments about the tone of these races shifting, and then immediately we found ourselves under a caution, which we have repeatedly gone through here in the last 20 or so laps. But alas, good news for Andrew Navarro is it's a few less laps that he has to spend battling off Briar LaPrade here. And I think Briar is going to be in the best position here. Again, it's almost 60 laps newer tires for that number 19 machine.
Yeah, right now we do have 3 trucks out there that have not come down pit road yet, and those 3 are 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So right now, as it stands, I feel like the best strategy was to just not pit the whole night.
Well, we still have 15 laps to figure that one out, and all eyes are going to be on Anthony Burrows after, again, dominated this race for the first, call it, 90 laps of 120, and came in surprisingly in pit. Finds himself up inside the top 10. He's going to have an opportunity here to get around a lot of these guys. It's just going to have to be a super aggressive start. And we will find all of that out within the next few minutes or so as the lights have gone off on the pace car.
Really quick, I just want to jump in here really quick to say that the other split is taking the white flag. Chris Pfeffer leads, Taylor Hurst in 2nd. They are going to finish this thing under regulation time, and Pfeffer is going to come around and win it.
So Pfeffer wins in the other split. We'll find out in 14 laps who does the same right here. Andrew Navarro with a great start. Green flag once again. And laps continue to tick down. Does Anthony Burrows make any big moves here? It looks like they're going to be 3 wide.
Yeah, a little bit of 3 wide action behind. They're going to get it sorted back to 2 wide. That outside lane did not get a great restart. I saw several trucks start to stack up. We got a couple making contact towards the rear, but they're going to get it going forward. No caution. Oh, we got
looks
one.
Looks like Cody
Big
Harris
wreck.
is going to go around. Austin Johnson as well. No caution called from that. They have to figure this one out, but they're 3-4 wide trying to navigate around some of these trucks. It looks like Luke Knupp as well, going to go around in the middle of the pack. Somehow no caution. There it is, as multiple trucks wreck down the backstretch.
Wow.
A really late caution call there. I don't know how that didn't get flagged in the system, but
these things are wild sometimes. We have about 3 wrecks happen before the caution finally got displayed. It's quite wild. We'll see a replay right here.
Yeah, it starts with Cody Harris on the front stretch, as we called out there. Made contact with Austin Johnson. No caution resulted from this, and it was just a stack-up effect from here. We'll look at Luke Knupp now, who is the catalyst. As you see, he makes contact. That number 9 truck, that's Kevin Champagne, and sends him around, and multiple trucks going around on the backstretch here will bring us under the caution flag once again. Welcome to all the FTN viewers who are joining us from the other split. Christopher Pfeffer came home with the win, and you see we're under caution here in the closing stages, coming to the final 10 laps of this thing, and hopefully we can get some green flag race in there. Andrew Navarro still our leader. Briar LaPrade will do a little run through. James Holzer running third. Jackson Crowder fourth. Jonathan Delaney rounds out your top 5. Lots of unfamiliar faces after those pit stops. Really shook everything up. Anthony Burrows update for anybody who was wondering. Made his way from 9th to 7th in that short time. Maybe can try to do the same here on this next restart.
I mean, also, shout out to Mercurio, bringing it back all the way up to 8th place. That's a massive rebound after that very early incident and having to avoid all the other hazards that have happened since then. Able to bring it all the way back to a top 10. I mean, can't be dissatisfied with that.
And all night long, we've had Justin Malillo keeping track of all the strategies to follow along. And you got a recap for us, Justin?
Just a real quick update for everybody who's just tuning in. Andrew Navarro has not pitted. He is the leader. He did not pit at all tonight. He was running second behind Anthony Burrows. Burrows led until lap 88. He pitted, and now he runs in 7th on the freshest tires. Briar LaPrade in 2nd place is on a 2-tire call from lap 59. James Holzer and Jackson Crowder in the 2nd row. They also have not pitted. They're 3rd and 4th. Ahead of Jonathan Delaney and Noah Betts, who also pitted at lap 59, but for 4 tires. Brian Mercurio, as just mentioned, he's on a 4-tire call from lap 59. Then you got Thomas Hazard in 9th. He last pitted at lap 39. Jake Nichols last pitted at lap 60. And the whole rest of the field is just completely stacked up on different strategies. We've had so many different cautions, putting so many different tire heat cycles on these tires. It's really equalized what we've got going on, and that's why Navarro is pretty much equal with LaPrade, and Burrows is having such a hard time getting through this field. But we're going to have, I believe, 6 laps to go on the restart, as they've just taken the 1 to go.
Going to be in the later stages of this thing. Thank you to Justin for keeping track of all that for us here tonight. So insightful, does a great job for us here on FTF.GG, and Andrew Navarro, Briar LaPrade, going to be a heck of a battle for the win here.
I want to shout out Thomas Hazard 6 times down pit road in the top 10. That is phenomenal that he's able to be up there with stopping 6 times this race.
We'll see if they can make any noise. Coming to the restart zone once again, Andrew Navarro, absolute rocket launch, sends Briar LaPrade clear for the 2nd position. 6 laps to go from the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Anthony Burrows 3 wide right now through 1 and 2. Gonna slide up, get behind those 2 that he was racing on the inside. Is he gonna be able to make up the time?
Gonna have to wait and find out. The field thunders off turn number 4. Andrew Navarro still your leader. Briar LaPrade trying to chase him down. Jonathan Delaney, you see a little further back. Still, this is a fantastic group right now, as Anthony Burrows still kind of stuck behind that 6 truck.
Yeah, Burrows not able to make up a ton of time. It just looks like he is stalled out. Unfortunate, our most dominant truck is probably not going to be able to get up there.
Laps continue to tick down. 1 truck looks like they almost went around there. Luke Knupp sends it big time and going to stack up the field. Back here might get 1 more caution tonight. They're still 3 wide. They'll have to get this sorted out. Meanwhile, looks like Andrew Navarro clearing away, still driving away from the field.
Yeah, right now, LaPrade is not able to make up any time on Navarro. Navarro trying to just somehow get out in front and keep the lead, and I think he's going to be able to do it. There's not really much that LaPrade is able to make up here.
Does Briar LaPrade have anything here? Last time by, about equal lap times. They come off turn 4. 2 laps to go for Andrew Navarro.
Now, don't forget Navarro. I think he thought this was a mistake originally. He wanted to come down pit road at the same time Burrows did, but sometimes mistakes lead to opportunities, and I think this might be an opportunity for Navarro to get a win.
Oh, and caution flag right before they come to the white flag. It's a crash on the backstretch. And Andrew Navarro is got to be kicking himself right now. Was just one corner away from taking the white flag and making this official. It's a big wreck on the backstretch involving Luke Knupp.
How much fuel has Navarro saved here?
It's going to be important. You see contact with Pacioli, sends Luke Knupp into the outside wall. Just a big hit there for that number 5 truck, and I think it was a little contact from behind that sent Pacioli down into the 5 truck.
That destroyed that truck.
And Luke Knupp has had a rough go of it here tonight. At one point was up inside the top 10 after starting in the rear, and a few different accidents have turned this into a really tough night for that camp. And now maybe does this give one more opportunity to Briar LaPrade on this restart? Maybe even Anthony Burrows? We'll find out as we are now in eNASCAR overtime.
One person that I think about with all these people who have stayed out, not pitted, that I feel like if he was racing right now, would be among them, would be Blake McCandless. He is one of those drivers that is always doing weird strategies to try and mix things up. I feel like, just feel like he would be up here. So this is going to be interesting to watch. See if they're going to be able to bring it home with not stopping the entire race.
And within the final 3 laps here, a good point raised by Justin Malillo on whether or not Andrew Navarro will have enough fuel to even make it to the end here. And if we continue to get cautions here, as is typical because, you know, the aggression going up here on these overtimes, everybody fighting for spots. Does Andrew Navarro have enough left in the tank?
Be curious to see.
Either way, here in overtime, it's been just far and away the control car able to launch on these restarts and drive away from the field. We've seen it time and time again with Anthony Burrows, now with Andrew Navarro. But does Briar LaPrade have anything up his sleeve to keep with that number 42 truck? If he does, it would be the first time tonight we've seen anything like it. So a tall task for Briar LaPrade if he wants to come out of here with this win.
Yeah, LaPrade's going to need the restart of a lifetime here. And Navarro has had some less than conventional restarts so far. So we'll see if LaPrade is going to be able to predict what restart he's going to get here.
Light's still on the pace car, so should get a restart here soon. We'll throw real fast to Justin Malillo. Do you have any observations about our leaders under this caution period?
Really quick here, I'm curious to where Navarro's going to get the restart. He's been changing it up every time. Back to you guys.
Once again, Briar LaPrade tries to stick with them, doesn't quite have it. Andrew Navarro clear the field. 2 laps to go now at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Does anybody try to mix it up? Can Briar LaPrade get to the back end of the number 42?
I feel like that was a great restart for LaPrade. One of the better ones we've seen from second place so far. Only 2/10 back right now, and he's on the bumper. He's there.
Briar LaPrade all over the back bumper now. They're going to take the white flag. Race is official. Does Briar LaPrade have anything through turns 1 and 2 all over the back bumper now of Andrew Navarro? But I think off of turn number 2, Navarro is going to have just a little bit too much, barring anything here from LaPrade. LaPrade going to send it. He'll try to get to the back bumper. He will make contact. Does he get to the inside now? Off of turn number 4, LaPrade tries it, but it's going to be Andrew Navarro who wins at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park as they crash big behind him.
Wow, that was everything. He tried to make everything happen, but credit to LaPrade, where credit is due. He was willing to try and move him, but he wasn't going to wreck him.
Andrew Navarro somehow comes out of here with the win, and we thought it was going to be Anthony Burrows' race to lose, but Andrew Navarro comes here to Lucas Oil Raceway Park, rightfully so, going to burn it down after not stopping. I don't know how he made it work, but with the help from some cautions, no stops, and comes out of here with the checkered flag.
What an awesome race right there. Wild strategy. An accident turns into a win for Navarro. That is fantastic. I want to hear if that was, if he was planning on coming down pit road at the same time as Burrows there.
We'll have the opportunity to talk with him, but for Andrew Navarro, this is now his second win in a row. He won at Pocono back on July 20th. And comes up to the Indianapolis Raceway Park and will walk out. Again, 2 in a row for Navarro, and that has got to be huge in the fight to make it to contender.
Certainly going to help his hopes here. That's a very good, strong start to the season. I think that's going to be one that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on for the rest of the series.
Either way, going to take a look at our finishing results here from the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Andrew Navarro walks out with his second win in a row. Brian LaPrade, after a last lap sin, comes up just short here on that alternate strategy. Jackson Crowder in the third position. A fantastic night for him. James Holzer as well inside the top 5 all night long. Jonathan Delaney comes home 5th. Anthony Burrows can't quite make the strategy work after starting on the pole, comes home 6th. Brian Mercurio, a great rebound after an early spin to come home in the 7th position. Logan Helton in 8th. Daniel Smallwood 9th. And Thomas Hazard, as you mentioned, inside the top 10.
Yeah, Caden Rush, Jake Nichols, and Boyd Hogan, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Kevin Champagne, Kwame Scott, Kyler Wynn. We saw him go around once or twice tonight. He's able to recover up to 16th. Brandon Pipgrass, Cody Harris, Matt Kemp, and Michael Venable is going to round out our top 20.
21st tonight, Spencer Kostowitz, after being up inside the top 5, and a spin sends him to the back. Hunter Johnson as well in 22nd. Timmy Pacioli, a good run considering he had a considerable amount of damage all night long. Kenny Humpy 24th. Brandon Hanna 25th. Ryan Hill 26th. Austin Johnson 27th. Brendan Meal in 28th. Noah Bitts 29th. Rounding out your top 30, going to be John Jenkins.
31st, Luke Knupp. He was in contention for a while there. Unfortunately, not able to finish the night off. Finishes 8 laps down. Jesse Kaplan, Alex Kolonix, and Chris Wetz. Chris Wetz, I believe, was running at the end of the race, but he's 66 laps down.
Tough break for him, but we are going to take a second to talk with our winner, and Andrew Navarro. And Andrew, what a drive from you tonight. No stop strategy, and you come home on top. What does it feel to be the winner here at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park?
I mean, it's great after, honestly, I didn't even mean to not pit there, which was, I accidentally looked like a genius. I wanted to pit, but the pace car, we had to let it by, and I was going to get a black flag. So I was just like, all right, I just got to stay out here. And I didn't know, like, Burrows cut through the grass and didn't get an unsafe pit entry. I did not know that you could do that, or not I would have pitted. Thankfully, I thought it was the other way around and didn't pit. So just super happy to win.
Yeah, and going back to Pocono, second win in a row. And what does that mean to your camp as you now look like you're going to be in very good shape on the road to get to contender?
Yeah, just means a lot. We did last year. We won back-to-back races in round 2 as well. So just gotta, job's not over. I think you can have a really bad end of the season and still miss it right now. So just gotta focus up. I gotta thank everybody at Celebrity Cruises, Adrenaline Captures, Bladen for making the paint scheme, Platinum Performance, Martin Sports, 7Cs, Premier Racing Setups for all your setups. Just, it was definitely a race of attrition with all the wrecking, and yeah.
Race of attrition indeed. And Same story back at Pocono, same story here tonight. Both of those, you come out of here as the victor. Congratulations, Andrew. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. And hopefully, maybe after Michigan, we'll be talking with you as well.
Thank you.
That is your race winner in Andrew Navarro. And answered your question there, Josh, about indeed did not mean to stay out there. But I know you caught up with our second place finisher in Briar LaPrade, who is with us now.
I did, and Briar LaPrade came into the night not thinking he was going to be able to get much happening here, but somehow meanders a second place finish out of the way. How did you manage to pull that one off, Briar?
Just staying out and getting yellows. We took 2 right around halfway. I figured that was probably going to be the best time to take tires. And, I think we had the advantage for a couple of restarts, but then the more restarts we got, it was evening out, and then Navarro just ended up, he was better, honestly. I just couldn't get through 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, I think we were about even, but yeah, he definitely deserved it with the strategy he pulled there. So I tried racing him clean. I know I put the bumper to him, but I mean, nowadays when people put bumpers to each other in iRacing, it's, do or die. So yeah, just tried racing clean and racing for a win at the same time. I think that's how you do it, and hopefully people take notes.
Yeah, that was awesome to see you kind of give him a little bump and try to make a run happen there. And do you think if you had one more lap, you could have made that move work?
No, I think honestly, what the mistake I made was getting in the gas a little too much in 1 and 2, trying to get to him, because like I said, he was better than me in 1 and 2. So I figured if I loosen him up in 1 and 2, that would give me a better shot in 3 and 4 to actually contend with him off 4. So I mean, there was a lot of thinking, as you can tell, going through my head on those restarts, just what to do once I got to second. But yeah, congrats to Navarro. I got a shout out Ledford Billiard Supply, Cameron Ledford. Check him out at ledfordbilliardsupply.com. And of course, Ryko Performance, Brad Wright and Spencer for building a pretty good truck. I couldn't push the setup to its potential this week. Like I said in my pre-race tweet, I was pretty slow, and to come home with second is pretty much a win to me. So points are looking good. Just looking forward to contender.
There you go. That's Briar LaPrade. Finishes second place. 1 goal. Eye on the prize, trying to get the contender. That's happening. Looking like it's going to happen here for Briar LaPrade this season.
Yeah, and a valiant run from him tonight. We'll take a quick word with our third place finisher here tonight in Jackson Crowder. And Jackson, you were one of 3 trucks that went through that race without pitting once. And we talked to race winner Andrew Navarro. He said it was actually an accident. Was yours more an intentional turn of events there, or are you in the same camp as Navarro there?
No, I knew that was my game plan. I mean, I just know how many caution laps we had, and I didn't see it cleaning up very much, especially with them guys being split, new tires, old tires in the runs. And I just know the short track tire is, you run a couple caution laps, cools off. I mean, I ran my fastest lap on those restarts at the end. I mean, I was in traffic first half of the race, but that was planned.
And the last 2 rounds, especially from Pocono and now here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, we've seen races really plagued by just repeat cautions. Do you anticipate that trend continuing on as we go to a place like Michigan?
For Michigan, for sure. I mean, most of them seems to kind of be the deal here lately. I messed up at Pocono. I got into a decent spot, ended up taking 4 tires. So, I mean, that was kind of another reason why I stayed out there. Figured why not? Just, especially how hard it is to pass. If you got new tires, not but so many places you can go.
And then, I mean, for your chances, do you feel like Michigan's going to be a good track for your camp where you can continue to build on this momentum after a third place finish tonight?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in Michigan. I won there last year in round 2, so that's a good place for me.
All right. Well, Jackson Crowder, congratulations on your podium finish tonight. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. And again, hopefully you can continue up those runs at Michigan in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I just got to thank everybody at Sim Motion and Ryko, Brad Wright, Spencer, Ken Byron, all them guys.
That is your third place finish in Jackson Crowder. And Man, what a race that we just witnessed, full of chaos here, and again going to Michigan in a few weeks. I do want to take a quick second to highlight some of the upcoming events here on FTF.gg. Tomorrow night will be FTF1 from Watkins Glen. This weekend got a loaded schedule with the FTF Cup Series at Michigan, and then Winston at Watkins Glen. Real fast, Josh. I mean, what are your thoughts as we come out of here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park?
I've never seen such a short race that felt like it had a billion strategies all playing out at the same exact time. It was wild. I feel like everyone had their own separate strategy, and somehow, some way, they managed to pull it off. The no stop strategy. I think I talked about it very early on. I thought maybe that might be a viable strategy if we saw a lot of cautions, and it worked. It was an accidental work, but it was really cool to see that play out. And it was also cool to see all the different strategies kind of work their way back up through the field. Unfortunate for Burrows not to be able to finish it out. Definitely one of the fastest trucks of the night, but Navarro nonetheless is able to bring home the checkered flag, which is awesome.
A no-stop strategy here tonight proves to be the answer key from the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. The round 3 of the eNASCAR iRacing qualifying series was a chaotic one here, to say the least. Andrew Navarro going to come home in victory lane. Thank you to everybody for spending your Thursday night with us. For myself, for Justin Malillo down on pit road, Joshua Mendoza alongside me, and Zach Johnson in the production trailer. Again, thank you to all of us for spending your Thursday night with us, and we will see you tomorrow night for the FTF1 series.